Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the CFO Insider. My name is Amy Brownell, and as always, I'm here live on YouTube and on Facebook every single Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Ooh, it's been a day. And we talk about all things CFO advisory related. So today we have a great topic: why bookkeepers are so afraid to raise rates. That is the topic we are going to talk about today. Before we get into it, though, I would love it if you would go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you are made aware every time we drop new content, anytime I go live. You are the first one notified. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. If while we're going through the live, if you have questions, feel free to drop them into the comment section and I will answer them. So no worries there. All right. Why are bookkeepers so afraid to raise rates? Well, there are a few reasons. They oftentimes internalize this concept of commodity pricing. What do I mean by that? So often bookkeeping is sold as another thing on the checklist, a task that needs to be completed. It is not necessarily viewed as a skill by some clients. Whether that be right or wrong, I think it's wrong, but that is how a lot of clients view it. And when it is framed like that if you're a bookkeeper, you're doing the exact same work as the bookkeeper down the street, they're naturally going to go to the lowest price bookkeeper. So when you internalize that feeling of commodity pricing, it's really hard to charge more because you're being compared to someone else and you have to charge the same rates. So that is the first reason. The second is no one taught them to price their services based off of value pricing. Now, I will tell you, many learn bookkeeping through a class or through going to school or an online program, something like that. There is a lot of times what those are missing are how to price your services. Like, debits and credits, absolutely, but no one shows you how to price your services. And what I like to do is price services based on the value you create. So whether that be providing clarity on cash flow or whether that be helping plan for the future, whatever that looks like, we want to price our services based on the value we create, not on the hours worked. That if we're pricing our services based on the hours worked or the number of transactions we process, there is no benefit for working efficiently. And so the client ends up paying more and we have no incentive to be working quickly. So that is a reason. A lot of bookkeepers fear that the client will just say, sorry, Charlie, no, thank you. I'm not going to accept this higher price. I'm out of here. And while that in some cases could be true, when you are someone's main point of contact for financials, when you are having a seat at the table, like maybe a CFO, or when you are helping that business owner scale their business or manage their cash flow, you are talking about being an integral part of the team and one that cannot be replaced easily. So this whole concept of them walking away becomes a lot less of an issue. A lot of times bookkeepers in particular, don't have a word for what advisory is already doing. So what I mean by that is you're already doing CFO level thinking. You're helping a business understand what happened in their books last month. You're helping a business understand what their plan is for next year. You're helping them manage their cash. You're helping them solve everyday business problems. You are already doing CFO level work. You're just getting paid like a bookkeeper. So a lot of times, because you don't have that drilled into your head knowledge about what a CFO advisor is and what they do, you're afraid to start charging like that. And that leads me into the final reason, which is imposter syndrome. A lot of people are unsure about what CFO advisors do and what that language means. They think that they have to have a CPA certification or some kind of formal credential, or they had to have CFO level experience. But I will tell you this, many bookkeepers that I work with have none of those things. And yet they are CFO advisors. And it is partly because they recognize that, hey, I'm doing this work already. Now I just want to get paid for it. So they are taking advantage of those higher ticket CFO rates and completing the work that comes along with it. So those are some of the reasons that bookkeepers are really afraid to raise rates. So a lot of people look at it as a identity fear. And I don't want you to think about it like that. I want you to think about it like, hey, I'm already doing this work. And if you're not already doing this work, you really need to start thinking about it, because business owners need this kind of support. There is a lot of uncertainty happening in the market right now, and they need to understand how all of that affects their business. They need to understand what raising prices might do to their bottom line. They need to understand if this is really the right time to hire a salesperson. They need to be prepared in case their largest customer leaves. And so we want to ensure that we are pricing our services based off of the value we create. All right, the value we create. And when I say the value we create, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is we are going to ask some questions during the consultation call about what this problem is or what this goal is. Let's say it's a goal. Let's say they want to increase revenue by, I don't know, let's call it $400,000 year over year. Well, what would happen is that $400,000, that's the size of the prize. That's the value that we're going to help them create. And then we're going to take a percentage of that value. So that is our fee. And that percentage can be anywhere between 5 and 25%. It depends on a couple of different scenarios. But at the end of the day, that value you create, that's why our fees are so high, because we are talking about solving big problems and accomplishing large goals, achieving large goals. So when you think about increasing your price, what I want you to think about is what your client's reaction might be. And here's the secret. There's usually no reaction at all. Because when you are offering higher ticket services, you're a valued member of the team. You are someone who they depend on, and they're happy to pay you whatever fee you're looking for, because what they get in return is worth so much more. I mean, let's just talk through the math one more time. Let's say the value that we're going to help them create is at $400,000. Well, if we multiply that, let's just say by 25%, that's $100,000. You divide that $100,000, that's our fee. You divide that by 12 and you get your monthly fee, of course. But think about that. We are giving them $400,000. We're helping them realize $400,000 of revenue growth. Our fee is only $100,000 of that. Who in the world wouldn't take that deal? Everyone would take that deal. It's a great deal. I would be happy if someone paid me $100,000 if I gave them $400,000. And if the big math is troubling your head a little bit, think about it like this. Let's look at it in terms of $10. If you have a $10 bill in your hand and someone offered to, or if you had, let's do this the other way. If you had $2.50 in your hand, $2.50, wouldn't you be ecstatic if someone said, hey, I'll buy your $2.50 for $10? You would take that deal all day long. It's the exact same concept. So that's how I want you to think about pricing and why you shouldn't be scared to raise your price. Prices go up. Prices of everything has gone up. I mean, our regular living expenses, holy moly. Rent is up, insurance is up, food is up, everything is up. It is expected that you're going to raise your rates. And especially if you are offering a higher ticket service like CFO services. All right, so I hope you enjoyed our topic for today. I certainly enjoyed talking about it with you. If you have any questions after the chat or after the live, go ahead and drop them into the comment section and I will respond to them. And like always, if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you will be notified when I go live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific with the CFO Insider. Meanwhile, until next week, have a fabulous week and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.